All right, let's talk about Lamar Jackson. Yet another what went right for the Ravens video, as they have been rolling here these past few weeks. Maybe a bit of a slow start to the season, but I mean, they've looked awesome. And given how some of the other, big dogs in the AFC have looked this season, they certainly feel like a real contender this year. Let's talk about this Ravens offense and how it was able to really get going. The Ravens defense is great. I got to make a video about that at some point because it's legitimately, debatably the best defense in football. But offense is, that's more fun to talk about for a lot of us. So we'll talk about offense here. What's going to happen is this is a 3rd down and 6, and they're just running really just a pick play on the outside. Lamar is going to take the snap. He's going to look over, and it's going to be Odell Beckham Jr. on the outside. And that's a key thing here. I really do feel like for Odell, right away when he first was playing for the Ravens, it was kind of, I feel like, a bit underwhelming. And he's still not necessarily lighting up the stat sheet, but he did have 5 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown, and he really is becoming a bigger and bigger part of this offense. And, to some degree, they're just making an effort to, hey, he's great with the football. Let's put the football in his hands. We'll watch how, you're going to flip it into Odell. Odell picks up the 1st down on a 3rd down and 6 right there. So again, looking his way is finding ways to move the ball down the field and methodically move the ball down the field. A lot of people criticize the Ravens saying, well, sure, they can, they look great when everything is going well, but when things go wrong, they're in obvious passing situations. Can they come through? On this time, they were able to, and a big part of it was the big free agent they signed in the offseason. Going over here, one thing we probably should give more credit to the Ravens. This is we almost never talk about this, but play calling is obviously a very big important thing, right? Todd Monken is the play caller for the Baltimore Ravens, and I think he's done a pretty good job. Where this play is a good example of a really good play call. It's going to be you have an edge rusher on the outside. The way it works is it's the play itself is actually a pretty common one. You see Baltimore run where you fake a handoff and then have Lamar go towards the outside, but it's more so the time in the game when they're going to do it. It's 1st down and 10 right here, starting the second quarter right here, and watch what happens with the edge rusher. Because again, the edge rusher, he's the key guy on this play. If he goes too far in, then the outside will be completely free for Lamar to run. And watch how when it begins, you see him completely fooled on this play. Only right now does he notice that Lamar still has the football in his hands. So, and again, you know this is coming. This isn't a surprise concept. This is the play you see the Ravens run all the time, but this is just similar to how you can get fooled badly on a play action. You can get fooled badly in this situation, and that's what happens here, and that's very much play calling. That's a part of it. It's also, players have to execute, and they are here, because watch how Lamar's able to run. Everyone really makes their blocks. Well, I guess Zay Flowers didn't fully make his block, but they're still able to pick up a 1st down even with that because of Lamar's speed. These are certainly the types of plays that just a lot of teams can't run, and no one runs it as well as Baltimore. This is the Baltimore Ravens play, right? This is the one that they do better than anyone. But at the same time, you got to give credit to the guys dialing it up at the right time. And also, some of these off-script stuff it's just so impressive. And I feel like we always kind of try to talk about the on-script stuff, but you know what? This is still really impressive, and there's always going to be moments in a football game when a quarterback has to make a play. Something goes wrong, and a quarterback has to figure something out. And it's great when your quarterback is, faster than most wide receivers. It makes things easier. Watch the edge rusher towards the top of the screen here, the one that I've circled. Lamar takes the snap, and very quickly there is going to be pressure. Good pass rush move there. Maybe not the best block. You get a situation where Lamar is under pressure here. Again, a lot of quarterbacks, in fact, debatably all quarterbacks are in a situation where this is just not going to go well. One of the things I've talked about is I really do believe Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback at when a play goes absolutely wrong, still making something happen. And what I mean by that is no one's open and there's pressure. Usually you can't make that work. But watch Lamar scramble outside the pocket, and not just does he pick up some yards, he's going to end up picking up the 1st down on this play, and actually gets a lot more than just the 1st down. Gets around 20 yards on this play, a play that was destined for a disaster. I mean, that's such an advantage to have for your football team. And everyone loves the pocket passer, and I get it. I think Lamar is still a good pocket passer, but to just negate this and say, well, okay, sure, you can do this, but what else can you do? This is a lot. This really helps. This is really valuable, and this is part of what makes the Ravens special. And also something like this was another interesting play. And I actually have a kind of a broader point about this play too, something that just I find interesting where, anyway, concept itself, 3rd down and 18, the Seahawks are going to be playing very off here. Watch as Lamar is going to take the snap. He looks down the field, doesn't love what he sees, which makes sense, so he's going to flip it to Mark Andrews, right? I mean, the odds of you getting someone open 20 yards down the field on a 3rd and 18 are slim. Sure, still take a look down there, but doesn't work out. Flip it to Mark Andrews underneath. Hope he can pick up some yards. I'm showing this play for a couple reasons. One, because Mark Andrews is really good. Watch him run after the catch, and he's going to make a move and nearly gets that first down. Gets stopped just a yard short, but created a scenario where they could go for it or kick a field goal. They choose to go for it, and they convert the first down on the next play. That's something that was fully set up due to the great work from Mark Andrews right there. Again, Lamar kind of just did his job on that one, which, hey, still got to do. But that was really a Mark Andrews play for sure. But also, kind of unrelated to the Ravens, I wonder if teams are going to, now that teams go for it so much more often, I wonder if we're going to stop seeing these prevent defenses as much. Even as early as like 5 years ago, teams would probably be looking at this as a win because a lot of teams would still punt the ball in that scenario. Maybe 4th and 1 at the 37, you go for it. But still, a lot of teams do decide to punt it away. Would decide to punt away earlier. Now, not as likely to do it. But also, good job by the Ravens to take advantage of the situation they were in. Also, a play like this, where what's going to happen is it's going to be a zone coverage play. That's what's going to be happening here. It's going to be Rashad Bateman, who's another guy where I feel like, again, the stat sheet hasn't been overly impressive. Like, again, 3 catches, 28 yards. Like, he hasn't done a lot. In fact, he only has 180 yards on the season, and it's kind of consistently getting like 2 or 3 catches a game. But I do feel like he's doing something for this Ravens offense. And again, this Ravens offense is kind of built to not necessarily be relying on one receiver, but to have 4 or 5 receivers. And one, Mark Andrews and Odell and Zay Flowers and Isaiah Likely and Rashad Bateman are all producing, and Devin Duvernay and even Nelson Aguilar at points. Like, that's what makes this offense go. And on this play, it's going to be Rashad Bateman running that route over the middle against zone coverage. Watch as you're going to see the play action, which does get linebackers to move in. Lamar gets to his second read, which was Bateman's, the one that I was talking about earlier. And you see there's a window to make this throw. Again, they're so good at zone coverage, and it's a good route by Bateman to get him open. Lamar makes that throw, and they're able to pick up, again, an easy chunk play. And that's just what the Ravens offense does more than anything when it's working, is it just looks easy. Guys get open because you can, run play actions against zone coverage and get, linebackers to move way in. You can have those running plays where you get explosive 15 yards. You can, flip the ball to Mark Andrews, who can run for 15 yards after the catch. And that's what it's looking like right now. And again, I mean, as of right now, this is absolutely looking like a team that could win it all. It really is. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.